evening and welcome to Success in the City. My name is Helen Webster and I'm with the lovely
Sandra Scott.
I thought you were going to say Pennywise then with your balloon.
Oh, don't say it again. We'll have to explain what's going on in a minute about
Yeah,
that.
Sandra's got a balloon. So it is our very last show of 2021 and Sandra is going to
Well, I was very
put
lucky.
the light bulb out.
Put my light bulb out, yeah. One of my, it's like the scene in Dumb and Dumber when they set off the cork and kill the endangered species, which is terrible, but dead funny because it's not really, it's just like a film. But anyway, my brother and sister in Scotland very kindly sent me a hamper because I teach them Spanish online. Well, I think that's why they send it, but they just send it me. It's all.
They send it because you're the sister.
I didn't send them anything. I didn't send them any gifts, no cards, nothing. Go up to Scotland when I see them, no. But no, it's because I teach them Spanish because they didn't do it before. And last year they sent me a lovely gluten-free one. And I got one again this year. And this came in it.
Lovely.
I'm saving that because it's just enough for one.
Lovely.
One
so we're going to do a little cheers.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've overfilled it. Never mind.
Can you get your glass that way? You have to cheers me glass.
Oh, God. You know, I've gotten a look at me trying to get the other
one. Yeah. Cheers. So I've got a nice little gin and tonic going on there.
Lovely.
Very nice. So it might be a little bit slurred towards the end of the show.
I love myself. Oh, no, it's not enough. My auntie and I had a bottle of champagne between us on Christmas Day. And I think we did very well. The Venetian
champagne. Love champagne. So we're going to sort of continue with the format of the show, but we're going to throw a little few things and a look back on 2021 and a look forward to 2022 and a mince pie. So shout out to the kids, Sam.
Oh, well, I want to shout out to, and I shared it last week just after the last show. I think I shared it Thursday. Jacob from An Hour for Others, who raised £1,600 to provide food to needy families. And this is the beauty of this and the ethos of community. He helped lots of people. He was helped. He was the recipient of support from An Hour for Others several years ago for whatever reason. And now he's a bit older. He's gone to do that in the community, which I think is lovely, isn't it?
Amazing.
So paying it forward and then paying it back. So I was made up with that. So £1,600 for a young person at school to raise is something else. And that money has gone. Imagine how many families that can feed. So they've done brilliant with that. So a massive, massive, massive shout out to Jacob.
Yeah, well done, Jacob. And a shout out to all of, so I haven't got any little people to shout out to this week, but a massive shout out to all of the kids who've done amazing things all year, who have gone out and helped others. And there has been lots of things where they've, bought an extra Christmas present and done it for Mission Christmas. Helped An Hour for Others. I know lots of people gave coats and, they were able to give warm winter coats out to everybody. And I think just, for them just cracking on and doing what they've had to do in 2021, it's been tough for them.
Do you know, kids have got really good hearts, because a lot of people say things like, people will tell me things, oh, yeah, my niece is only 4, or, this little boy is only 6, whatever. And they do these things, they're naturally kind. And they say, Mummy, I've got too many toys, can I get, and things that you think, it's like off a Disney film and you think that's not real. The kids do that. They've got lovely hearts, and I think this again, and especially with the little ones, the ones I teach and stuff, and I'll give them like a cake or a bar of chocolate or something in a lesson, and they'll go, oh, can I save it for my sister? And you're just like, wow.
I would never have saved it for my brother. I'd have eaten it.
Yeah.
And I would never have told him that I got one. Although I did a very kind thing for him today. Yeah. So success of the week, success of the year, Sam. Success of the week first. Let's go over the week first.
Well, I'm delighted because my auntie and uncle and mum came for dinner, which I was made up about. And my auntie has done me a roast for years. When I was a kid, I used to go on my bike. This is dead bad. When I lived in Egberth, I used to cycle to Allerton Road, where they lived off Allerton Road, have a roast in my auntie's, because she'd do a roast about 1:30, 2ish, and then go home to my mum's for 6 and have another roast every Sunday.
Amazing.
I was on my bike all the time, so I could get away with stuff like that. Not now.
Amazing.
And that was lovely. And, you know, she's done loads of Christmas dinners, or if she didn't, we'd go at New Year or Easter, bank holidays. She's just like fed me all the time. But even when like my cousin's done the dinner and things like that, my auntie's always there preparing the veg and stuff. So she sort of like floated in, and I was like, she said, I haven't known what to do. And she was just like, my auntie and uncle just floated in all happy, and they had the house. Oh, they were so happy, and we just had the nicest meal, honestly. And I had my little nut roast, which I loved, and they had a turkey and hammered it and everything, and it was really nice, and they really enjoyed it. I nearly had a disaster, but I didn't, so that was all right. And I'd set the timer to check the turkey at 12:30, and then I thought, oh yes, take the turkey out at 12:30, and then I thought, no, and realised after and popped it back in for another hour. So we were about 30 minutes later than I'd said. But
that's all right. That's not a lot, isn't it? That's
yes, so that was a really good success. And then I got some really nice prezzies, and there was just loads of cool stuff that happened. So yeah, made up. We've had quite a few. What about you?
Yeah, so I've been spoiled. Lots and lots of prezzies and things like that, which is cool.
What was your favourite prezzie?
So I got the Strictly Annual, which apparently I had to send off for. So that was cool. So I got that. Another great book is Adam. I'm into reading me sports books of the elite athletes at the moment. And Adam Peaty, which I probably would never have bought. Well, he's unbelievable, and it's no wonder he's such a great Olympian. With the way that he trains and the way his mindset is and his behaviours and things, he's just unbelievable. He is a machine. And I'm going to get a pair of new walking boots. So, but Phil couldn't buy them. So Phil's going to buy me new walking boots, but I couldn't buy them. He couldn't buy them for me, sorry, because I'll have to try them on. But I've been researching. So, you know, I've got my Vivo barefoot shoes, so that it feels like you're walking in barefoot.
I've used the kids down south immensely.
So I've got my Vibram 5 toes. And then I've got my Vivos, which is like the, you know, anyway, you can now get Vivo walking boots.
Right. Hang on a minute. I need class. So are you telling me
Then I haven't got 5 toes?
Right. Okay. But what are they? You feel closer to the floor? Or
yes.
I don't.
Yes. So they're a thinner layer and it feels more barefoot. So your feet do what they're actually supposed to do, which connects your receptors in your feet to your brain. And makes you more one with nature.
Right.
So there you go.
Can you feel the floor more though? Like say there's rocks and things. Will they dig into your feet?
Yeah. So they've got like a sole on them. They've got a sole, but the sole isn't as chunky. So you know I've been wearing trainers and my feet have switched off.
Yeah.
Well, these are sort of like the equivalent of a hiking boot in them. And you get a 100-day trial, and if you don't like them after 100 days, you can give them back, and they give you your money back.
But they must be brilliant for them to do that.
So they're sort of like invested, haven't they, in what so
it must be brilliant.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, well, so I think I'm going to go.
I need hiking boots of any description.
Yes, you do.
Trekking after the day, yeah. So
leather boots and normal socks, and not.
The balls of my feet were very sore yesterday. Anyway, I had a look at my socks after you said it was my socks, and they were like that, thin, like that.
Wafers.
Oh, yeah, that's what did it. So there we go. I got some lovely stuff. I just made up. It's nice.
I got loads of jammers. My mum bought me Percy Pig jammers and Percy Pig slippers. So that was cool. Limited edition, all that sort of stuff. Amazing. Yeah. So I got loads. Yeah, it was really good. And we had a lovely roast dinner, and we did jackfruit. I did jackfruit as our.
Did you?
And so the Bosch Boys, if anyone's heard of the Bosch Boys, they're like vegan, plant-based, who do these amazing recipes. And last year they did a roast dinner in a tray. So you put it all in one tray and you put it in the oven. And it's just genius. Whoever. And so we did that again.
I've yet to try it.
So my roast potatoes were amazing. It was all amazing, yeah. So very successful. So yeah.
Good.
So we've had a good, nice little chill. Phil's a bit poorly, so that's a bit rubbish.
Oh yeah.
He's still not very well. Maybe he hasn't got COVID. He's just got. I think he had what you had those couple of weeks ago.
Loads of leggy going round, isn't there? You know, I was sick and everything. There's just loads.
Yeah, so he's got like a proper bad cough.
Nightmare.
But apart from that, all good.
Brilliant. I'm excited. I'm allowed out on New Year's Eve.
Yes, well done. So successes for the year, San. What's been amazing this year?
Loads. My biggest, I think I've had loads, but one of the things was there's loads happening this year. God. But one thing that I really, really loved was going canoeing in the Albert Dock, which was a big thing for me. So thanks to Martin Sang, who really sort of persuaded me to do that. Yourself and Alexandra Warner, who came in the canoe with me when I was hysterical. So I loved it, and that was just brilliant. And I'd definitely do that again.
I was going to say, you're going to do it again?
100%, but I'd like to do it on my own now, not in person. Yeah.
Right. Are you going to get on the paddleboard?
No, not yet.
Oh, yet. I like that. Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet. I'm not saying no, but not yet. I have no balance, as you know. Be like that.
Well, that's all right.
I know you've got the thing is you've got a life at a buoyancy aid, whatever they're called on, but it's the cold of the Albert Dock.
It's warm, the Albert Dock, because it's only 14 feet. So it's actually warm. The water's warm. The first time I went into the Albert Dock to do open water swimming, I thought it would be freezing, and it's not, because it's only 14 feet. So it's not sort of deep enough to get cold. So it's actually quite warm.
That's quite funny you say that, as though the depth has got anything to do with the temperature, because I remember going to Garston Baths, which wasn't 14 foot, and it was very cold indeed when I was in Garston, so I'm not having any of that.
Okay. So Tom's listening.
Gauge. What about the jet ski?
Yeah.
Now, this relates to something. Oh, we asked for a photo last week when I was saying in Canada, everyone had jet skis. I didn't. The names, but I had been on one, Tom. And then the other one was in Lapland, where it was basically dark, but about 2 hours. It was horrendous, yeah. And all the cameras are better then, but in those days, we didn't.
Didn't get all the photographs.
My lad was 6. We didn't have stuff like that. So there's no pictures of jet skis. I've been on a water ski as well in Florida. There's definitely no pictures of that neither. Another time I nearly drowned.
You can water ski. You can definitely paddleboard.
No, what? Because they're the same.
You need more balance to water ski than paddleboard.
Water ski is a machine. You just go like, oh, water ski. Sorry.
Water ski holding on, or do you mean jet ski?
Jet ski. Sorry. Yeah.
I was very impressed then when you said you'd water ski.
I've been water skiing. I've been water skiing in Florida and Mombasa. But I was scared in Mombasa.
But I sat in the boat and watched them.
What was it? That's what I normally do, yeah? I know. I saved a captain's life in Mombasa, but that's another story. But anyway, so no, I'm rubbish at all of that. Anyway, it's not my thing, is it?
Okay.
I haven't told you my best success of the week, which was amazing. So I'm sat there last night and I watch University's Challenge, right? Because it's all the old students who go back and do it. So I'm there watching it, and you get 4 or 5 right in a whole show if you're lucky.
Well done.
It was like a dream come true. I just thought, it was a surreal experience. All I heard was, and the next round is on the past participles of European languages. And I went, oh, it was like, I didn't even know it was a thing. I was like that. My heart was going. I answered everyone right like that. They asked one in Spanish, Italian, French, and German. Knew them all. And the boffin people got them wrong. I was like that. I had no witnesses. I was sat there on my own. It was like when Liverpool won in Istanbul. I was going, yes!
That's when you need to be on an episode of Gogglebox where they film you watching the telly.
Yeah, but when I do it normally, it'd be like I would just be glazed over and not, Hollingsworth, Cambridge, and I'd be like getting them all wrong and stuff like that. Yeah.
So how many points did you get? Do you know?
Well, I got 4. I was just Helen. I was like euphoric.
Wow.
I just got 4 right in a row. I was like that. No witnesses, nothing. It might not, but it did. And I was.
Did you wake up and have your Cocoa Pops?
Well, fancy them say you would never in a million think you just think they'd go, the next round is on past participle of European languages. I was like, that. So for people
You've actually got a textbook on that, haven't you?
Your past participles is like eaten. I have eaten. I have seen. So seen, eaten. They're your past participles. That's all that is.
I was just about to explain that to everybody.
I was in my element and I thought I am an absolute geek.
Yeah, you are a geek.
I know, that's all right. I'm cool with it. I'm happy. So
but a very clever geek.
Yeah, so only in that, nothing else.
And quite a cool geek.
Yeah. What about you with your successes?
So I think we've had lots of successes this year. We've had lots of setbacks, but then we've had lots of, and I think the biggest success is getting the office in town and having our young people work with us.
Definitely.
I definitely think that's a massive success because it's given us a little bit of focus to be able to actually go and do something, move forward and stuff. So that's a massive success. And I think that the success is for them as well, for being so cool and taking to everything that we've given them and watching them grow. I think is a massive success for us personally. To see the growth in others has been a massive success for us.
And I became vegan.
Yes. So I've been plant-based for
longer,
yeah, September last year. So it's over a year now.
Although I eat a fish.
You eat a fish. Well, that's okay. I don't eat a fish, but I still love it, and I think it's opened us massively to new tastes and new things. So that's cool. I think one of the biggest successes I had was doing the K-Night cross with the dog in Anglesey when I did the 10K with her, which I absolutely loved, which has given me a massive passion for trail running. So next year I'm going to massively look into trail running, and I feel like I need to do a massive challenge next year.
Diane Cannon and
she's grown her hair,
and it's
well done.
It was so nice to see her.
It was so nice to see her. That was another success of seeing everybody, which was lovely. On Thursday morning when we had a coffee and a little catch up because we've missed everyone so much. And her hair looks gorgeous, and she did the change in diet and food and things, and looked amazing.
Yeah,
looked unbelievable. She's just flying at the moment. She just looks boss. So I think loads of successes. I think looking forward to next year. I think it's going to be an amazing year for lots of reasons for lots of people. And I'm yeah, we definitely need premises. We need premises. So anybody out there who's got big premises of about 2,000 square foot with a high ceiling, car parking that we can go into and set Lou up and whack a ball and chat a fit and chat away and inclusivity, the cafe.
Everything in the one space.
Have everything and just rock on and do what we need to do because it's what we love doing, isn't it? And
can come and play. And that'll be my difference.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And I had to do I had to fill a form in before about the impact of so during lockdown I did chair-based exercise and signed through it, and Sport England had given us a little bit of funding towards it. I'd had to fill like an evaluation form in. And so I sat and did it this afternoon. And it's unbelievable how the impact of one little thing, and I didn't realise the impact that it had taken. So over 17,500 people had watched
No way.
in 12 weeks. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So 1,500 was the biggest on one day, of one of the videos. And it's not until you actually sit there and you look at the figures and things like that and you think, wow, that's like pretty impressive, that.
Yeah.
And so it made me sort of think, well, we've done all this with not being able to do anything.
Yeah.
So we went to focus, didn't we? Well, what can we do? And we can still deliver and we can do things. And so it's about, imagine if we've got everything that we need.
What you can achieve,
Yeah, we can just achieve so much and support so many people, can't we? So yeah.
Okay.
Like Cannon says, you don't need much. We don't need much. We just need a space. That's it.
We just need a space.
Yeah. So give a shout out to everybody who who's got space and things like that.
Definitely.
And, let's get a space. I definitely think it's coming in January. I've said all along.
We're going to do this and that, but before we do this and that, if we've got any people listening in, can you let us know who your favourite guest was this year, please? So put a comment if you're watching on my page on Facebook, it doesn't show up on here. So either put it on Helen's page or on the Success in the City page. Who was your favourite guest we had this year? And we had loads. We had over 50 guests.
We did. We've had a guest every week, haven't we?
Diane was her favourite guest.
Yeah, I was going to say she was on. I was going to say Diane was on.
Was her own favourite guest. That's like voting for yourself in the election.
She was very good. I've got to say she was very good and very informative.
Very good indeed.
She's very good. Under the right circumstances, very professional.
In a controlled, safe environment. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to go first, Helen. Okay, so jackfruit or nut roast?
Jackfruit.
Which I still haven't had.
Have you not had it at all?
I've got 2 cans of it.
Oh, I'm going to make you some jackfruit, okay?
Use one of the tins I've got.
Okay, I'm going to make you jackfruit.
Right, go on, your go.
Okay. Mince pies or Christmas pudding? Gluten-free for both.
Christmas pudding. Obviously, I have a lot less of that because my mum did it. Oh, hang on a minute. My mum did a big thing of
nice Christmas pud as well.
Gluten-free. So these are the normal ones. So my uncle had 7 on Christmas Day.
Well done.
I was counting. And then meanwhile, I've still got these to get through. They're all the gluten-free ones with the snowflakes on.
Brilliant.
And my lad's gone away for 2 weeks, so because he eats them normally. So Christmas pudding definitely, and I'm afraid we do buy that because I get a gluten-free one.
Neither for me. I don't like either of them.
Is it the fruit?
Yeah, I just don't like them. I'd rather have a chocolate cake.
Well, clearly I'd rather have a chocolate cake too.
Yeah. So yeah. Di says Christmas pud.
Christmas pudding.
Go on, San.
Okay then. Traditional Christmas carols with a choir or modern Christmas songs like from Motown onwards, like the boppy ones you can dance to.
Christmas carols.
Ooh. I like the one that goes la 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 la. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. No, Christmas carols 100%.
That's called. Jane says carols. Di says both. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Christmas carols. A Wonderful Life or
to see
Miracle on 34th Street.
A Wonderful Life, hands down. I've only seen Miracle on 34th Street once last year, and
the original one.
Oh no, I've never seen the original one.
Well, I did at first. I had Scrooge, Alistair Sims Scrooge, but I don't know whether you've seen that.
Okay.
Which is the black and white one.
I took Ronan to see It's a Wonderful Life on Christmas Eve, and it was on at the Everyman in town, the cinema in Victoria Street. And it's the first time I've been in there, and it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. Di's put A Wonderful Life. And do you remember, Diane Cannon, we went to see A Wonderful Life with you in the Albert Dock.
In the Albert Dock.
And I've got my hat on and scarf like that.
On a deck chair in the Albert Dock.
Oh, it was freezing. Absolutely freezing. But it was
one of the greatest nights, though. That was amazing. That sitting on a deck chair and floating on the Albert Dock, watching A Wonderful Life.
Yeah. But it'd be nice to do that in the summer. But not A Wonderful Life. Yeah, it was brilliant. I really enjoyed it, and it's a good memory. Freezing our asses off. Well, quite, yes. So it was cold. It was really cold, but we got right by the heater, didn't we? And we had blankets and stuff. So
it was amazing. It was a good night. It was a good day. It wasn't a good night. Nighttime it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Go on, Stan.
A present on Christmas Eve, and then the rest the next day at lunchtime, or all the presents Christmas morning.
Oh, all the presents Christmas morning. Okay. Hands down. I don't know how people wake up and save their presents till Christmas lunchtime.
I don't know how people save them till Christmas Day.
I saved mine till Christmas Day.
I know, you're very good, aren't you?
Yeah. And my big brother was Jane saying Christmas morning, Di saying Christmas morning. My big brother woke up and I took the dog for a walk and I rang him to say Happy Christmas. Well, I rang Thomas first to say Happy Christmas to him, and he never answered. So I rang Stuart, and it was about 11:30, And I said, "Oh, happy Christmas." And he said, "I said, oh, what?" I said, "Has he been?" You know, like, so we always say, like, "Oh, he's been." And he went, "No." And I was like, "Oh, all right." So Paula was working, so she worked like mad hours over Christmas. Yeah. And Thomas was still asleep. And Hugo, the dog, was asleep in the bed and didn't even put his head up. So I said, "Oh," so he got up at 9 o'clock himself and like put the dinner on and things like that. And nobody had even said Merry Christmas to him.
Ah.
And I was like, "Oh," well, like we were up at like 5. Well, about 5:30 it was. He's been. Yeah. What about you? Would you do Christmas Eve and Christmas lunch?
No, a lot of foreign people do though, don't they? Because Christmas Eve they'll have one gift, and then in a lot of countries they wait till the 6th of January. So imagine that, because they think the 3 kings bring you presents. Right. You know, in Spain, for example, they do that. In Portugal, they don't open the gifts till then.
Wow. No, not a chance. Okay, Prosecco or champagne?
Champagne.
Yeah.
Although I like Prosecco very much indeed.
I like Prosecco, but I like champagne even more.
Yeah, so I
like Bucks Fizz. Yeah.
Obviously, I have to be careful of the orange juice. Since the time I had that one from Lidl that put me into anaphylaxis when our Ronan was 10, and I got rushed into Arrow Park when I lived over the water, and they were like that. I went in and they went like that. So that was a bit dramatic. So I'm a bit nervous of juice now, but I can taste like that, and I know straight away, and I can just get it on the tongue, straight away.
Just drink it straight. Di Cannon says Prosecco. She loves champers, but not the price. So Prosecco.
Yeah, no, quite. I have to say, Di, the champagne we had at Christmas was given to me as a gift, and I saved it.
Yeah.
And that.
Well done. Go on, Fran. Last one.
Okay. Last one. Artificial tree or real tree?
So growing up, we only ever had a real tree.
Oh.
And my mum still has a real tree. Our Stuart will not have anything but a real tree. And he goes in but we've got an artificial tree at the moment. But I do love the smell and everything of real trees.
Yeah. Well, I like a real tree. It's nice, but I've got an artificial one. This was my mum's old one she gave me because she has a smaller one now. Peter Lloyd, real tree all the way, obviously, because he's a horticulturalist.
Of course.
But, there's no bits, and it's great. There's no pine cones on the floor.
No, but there's no smell of like, is the, you know. But apparently somebody bought a candle that smelled of real Christmas trees.
A pine.
And I thought, oh, that's nice. It wasn't a pine smell though. It was like Christmas, because Christmas tree smells different than pines, and pines like you put down a toilet, isn't it? Like, or in your mop bucket.
A toilet.
Disinfectant type thing.
Lynn Ely's come on.
Oh, so we're gonna say good evening to Lynn. Yeah.
Do good evening again, please, Helen.
Good evening.
Good. Oh yeah. Good.
And then evening. Yeah, and then Lynn's sad. That's her sign name because she's got long hair. So that's her personal sign name.
Okay. Because I'm all right with a good morning, but good evening.
Yeah.
Close the curtains.
Close the curtains, yeah.
Okay, brilliant, cool.
Well done.
Happy Christmas. That was
yay. Well done. Di says artificial. She loves the smell of a real, but can't get one up 5 flights of stairs to her flat. A Christmas tree is dead before
that's the thing. And you know, because our Ronan's girlfriend was over and she was going back to Italy, they put the tree up for me when I was sick. But it was the earliest. It wasn't actually December, which has never happened. It was like the last week in November. But he said, well, she won't enjoy the tree. So I said, fine, fill your boots. Decorated everything. I was ecstatic. Yeah. And our Ronan said, like, he said, if that had been a real tree, Mum, it'd all be dead by now. I was like, yeah, it would be.
Yeah. And our Christmas tree, we have every single decoration that's on our Christmas tree is a memory. So we've got memories from all around the world. So she says, thank you to both of us. And the best 2022. Yeah. And she says, smile.
Smiley face. Cool. You too.
Yeah. So all of our tree is a memory. So I love putting our Christmas tree up because we get all the things out and we say, oh, do you remember when we bought this, or somebody's bought us this? And so yeah, every tree is a memory now, which is fun. So we love that. Yeah.
A lot of people do that, don't they?
Yeah. So we're going to talk about what's gone on this year and what's going to go on next year.
Definitely. Well, we've got a bit of an announcement to make about the show as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
False.
No, well, it's a success. I think so. I'm going to go back to last year. So it wasn't this year; it was last year, and Dana stepped in, to host the show with me because you couldn't make it because you'd done an online audition
with chopsticks and a biscuit tin.
Chopsticks and a biscuit tin, and I'll let you take over.
For the drumming, well, they have two, don't they, in our city? There's a couple of different groups that do it. So there's Batala and there's a Katumba one as well. So I was really happy, and it took a long time for this to come off because there's like a waiting list, and then we had the lockdown and everything. So they kept in touch, which I was delighted with. So I did the online thing with the chopsticks and everything. Oh, we got talking as you do. And then they said, oh, you speak languages. And I was like, yes. And they said, oh, you'll have to come to here. I went, yes, I'll do that. Great. So I'm quite excited. Anyway, it's sort of come to a thing now. And we are starting, pray to God, we are starting live rehearsals. Yes, thank you. Fingers round all this sound, as you say. Live rehearsals. And it's got to be on Wednesday nights. Start from January the 12th on Wednesdays. And this is something I've always wanted to do. But I love our little show we do. It's a nice part of the week. And I think it's really important to share good news that's going on. So we didn't want to stop doing it, did we?
No.
So my client who I have at Tuesday, by the way, it's 7 o'clock, doesn't know this yet. But we're moving the show to Tuesdays, aren't we?
We're going to move it to Tuesday at 7 o'clock from the 4th of January. So we're starting the new year and we're just moving it one day, and we're going to do it on a Tuesday night instead of so we're going to apologize to everybody who's changed their lives and their shifts in work to watch us on a Wednesday. Unfortunately, we'll have to go back and change your shift now and be off on a Tuesday night.
Yes, but if you miss it, you can catch it on YouTube or Facebook anyway on our page, Success in the City. So that's brilliant. And also, we are after a sponsor, aren't we?
We are.
And you can sponsor a show for £10 because we have to pay for StreamYard. It's as simple as that. And you've paid for it, Helen?
I have. Yeah.
So we had a friend who offered to help us out, and we didn't sort of ask him really, did we, or anything? But so you can sponsor it. So if you've got a business or anything, and we'll 100% give you a shout out.
Yeah, or if you want to dedicate it to somebody.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good idea, to dedicate it to somebody. And then it's just £10, and then that covers the cost of the StreamYard, etc. for us. And then hopefully you won't be out of pocket from the last
And we're going to try. So when Jason was the guru of StreamYard, when we were doing it with Northwest Community Radio, we had banners like on the top of the screen and on the bottom of the screen, and I had a little look, and I just make one big blob. So I need to have a look and see if we can make, and we could put like a little message to whoever's, like a thank you to whoever sponsored us, and we could invite them on and and have a little chat and things like that. So it's a nice way to promote a business, but it's a nice thing to do to just create a bit of positivity, which is why we started it in the first place, wasn't it? To share. And we're going to have a little chat about the guests that we've had in the past year.
We've had some brilliant guests, haven't we?
Unbelievable guests. And I think Di Cannon was amazing.
She was indeed. And because she talked about her Melanoma UK and her role and what, she had an incredible journey. And her buy-in to that charity is completely personal, and it's extended now to other family members, etc. So, what she's done for that, it's a genuine passion.
Yeah.
So Jane Kane said Valerie Balfour, who I have to say I don't remember. I'll be honest, I don't remember her.
I think she's saying Valerie might sponsor one. Valerie hasn't been on our show.
Oh, I see. I thought, how rude. I don't remember that lady at all.
No, she hasn't been on our show.
That's good news. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Di's going to pay for a session in May for the awareness month, and we could get Di on, and she could tell us everything that's going on. Because May is melanoma awareness.
Brilliant. And you know, that's a Northwest based charity. It's national now, but it's based here, but they go national.
Of course it is, and I love the fact that that's patient centered. Yep, it's about the patient. It's which I love that as well. Which guests have inspired you or sort of stuck out?
There were loads of fantastic guests, but what I'd like to say is the way some of the guests have come on massively as well. So like, and their reason for doing what they do. When you think, oh, people do this or they do that, when you find out why and the journey they've gone on to get to what they've done, it's inspiring actually. And they love what they do as well. And I've heard a few people, 3 different people I've heard in the last week have said to me in the situations, it is what it is. 3 times I've heard it this week off 3 different people. And I thought, no, it isn't. You really can change. You don't need to feel like that. You can change your situation, can't you? In a lot, not everything, but in a lot of circumstances, you know, you can. It's hard. It's certainly not easy to do that, but you can change your circumstances. It doesn't have to be. It is what it is. And I think some people have done great things. And Chelsea Lee Stokes,
unbelievable.
Yeah, because she's gone in as what some people might regard as a larger lady, if you like. She's immensely fit, healthy, fitness instructor, etc., isn't she? But she got the popular vote to go for Miss Liverpool, and then she went down to Miss England and everything. And then Sophie Clark, who introduced us to Chelsea. Sophie Clark, who's a classical singer, who busks, by the way, in Greenwich in London most weekends, who comes from Crosby to fund her course that she does, because musicians are very vocational. It's hard for them, and you know it's expensive as well what they need, and they need a lot of stuff with music's private. It's just like dancers, it's the same for them, isn't it? It doesn't come easy. They've got to raise all this money, and she's come on and she sang at the Barbican and she's done loads, and you're just watching these people grow and everything. And everyone we've had has done stuff like that, haven't they? Like the authors we've had on, and we've had so many authors actually, all local, different types.
I think a great one was Dave Fanning. So Dave Fanning had written his book, hadn't he? You know, his adult book. But previous to that, a long time ago, he'd written about Phil the Fire Engine. Yeah, and he'd been on our show, and you know, he's just a lovely, lovely guy. And he did lots in the fire service as well for the local communities. And he'd sent the link to his publisher so that they could watch, you know, the show and stuff.
That's right.
And then Phil the Fire Engine they'd taken his book on fanning the flames, hadn't they?
Yeah.
And then they said, oh, we're going to take Phil the Fire Engine now. So that was like really lovely that, you know. So my Uncle Ron's listening.
Uncle Ron, my favourite. Yeah.
And he says, all your guests are superb, 7:00 on a Tuesday now. So so he'll have that in his sacrosanct. Yeah, so he'll have that on his and I think a big shout out to my Uncle Ron, because he's been probably our biggest supporter and our biggest listener in, hasn't he? And Tom from New Orleans has been pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Tom's ace. I love, because Tom is at least 5 hours behind us, so he'll have to work that into what he does. He's a nurse, you know, he'll have to work that into his life and everything to watch it, or sometimes he catches up on it if he can't see it. And I think it's really nice, you know. And I've had the odd comment, like I've got a friend, Donnie, who lives in Auckland in New Zealand as well. So he's commented too, and it's just nice, isn't it? It's lovely.
It's amazing. It's lovely that
I think the guests, with some of the guests we get are just loads, and they all bring something to the table, and they're just what I would describe as ordinary people. Who've achieved so much. And we said we were going to give a specific shout out today, didn't we, to Danny de Brabander.
Danny de Brabander. So Danny de Brabander was one of our very first guests last year.
He was.
But has carried on incredibly, raising money, you know. Team DB have just, you know, unbelievable. And, you know, he's been in hospital again, and from his hospital bed, he's still sharing positive posts. And I think when he came on for me, he was just this guy who he blew me away when he was on the show. And he didn't sort of settle on what he did, what they'd raised. He was like, well, if we can do this, we can do even more, and we can help and support more people. And they just do lovely things with the money, don't they? They just help everyday people.
Well, as well, he has this team around him. I mean, he's got such a good group of friends and supporters. Yeah. And they've got up to £75,000 this week. That was their thing. They got up to they've raised £75,000, which is brilliant. And I think it's amazing what people can do when they pull together and they put their mind to it, and they've helped so many people over the water and everything. So massive shout out to him, because he's in class with Mitch again.
Yeah, definitely a proper fighter and a really nice guy, isn't he? I think an amazing guest. I think we had some guests who, when you're speaking to them, you didn't realise. We thought, we've had quite a few guests who we already know, and then when they've been on, didn't realise that they've done so much, and I think one of the ones, I think Angela Preston.
Absolutely. Angela Preston, it was amazing. The amount of books she'd written as well, I didn't realise that, and what she'd been through, and also people shared their experience, like about workplace bullying she'd had, and then Sheila Byrne only the other week, what a journey she's been on, and she was really open and honest about everything, and that can inspire someone else to think, well, look, I was in the depths of despair or what have you, and look what she's done, or look what he's done. And I think the people we've got, because they are ordinary people who've done great things, they are really inspirational,
Yeah, I think Gary Miller shared this story. I think he was really open. And
Gary Miller, we could have had 2 shows for Gary Miller. Definitely.
I think we only got to age 7, didn't we, with him?
The format of the show went out the window. We didn't have success. Yeah. We didn't have any of it. We were just like that. Yeah. But he was great. He was really entertaining, wasn't he? And then we've had people like, we've got some of the people are just like, you think Fran McNichol for me, because she's a surgeon at the Royal. Everything she's been through, and it was her who was, and do you remember we had the lady on when we first started the previous year, who was sewing, who coordinated
all the scrubs
and everything. Yeah, she was lovely. Well, if Fran McNichol was messaging me on Facebook going, we've got nothing, we're in the hospital, we've got nothing. And so we were all doing stuff to help her and everything. Meanwhile, on her days off, she wrote a book, as you do, and rode a horse, and she has a sideline. She has another business as well, doesn't she? You just think, wow.
I know.
Well, and learn German. Sorry, because I taught her German. Yeah, just incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Incredible what people do.
And I think we were quite lucky. We had Rangenheld, who from
who I adore.
Hotel Tia was, and really, really busy, and gave her time to us. And
they've done loads of charity, and she's another one, an author. And she's Norwegian, has written extensive books about Liverpool FC and individual footballers who from Liverpool in Norwegian, but also not had them translated. She has them proofread, but writes in English. And as a linguist, that's an achievement. To write a book in a foreign language is something else, And she's just a gorgeous human being, actually. She's just lovely.
Yeah. And we had John Gibbo from the Anfield Rap.
I was really mixed up. He came on.
It was lovely because our very first guest was Football with Ben. And Ben came on again and gave us a little update this year of what he'd been doing and stuff. Yeah. And John, like Ben's a massive Liverpool fan and, follows the Anfield Rap. And, John Gibbo, we should have been going, and then lockdown happened. And John said, come to the studio and Ben can see. And then unfortunately lockdown happened. And John still remembered, and he said, when's Ben coming in to see us? And I was really lucky to take him, and I took him and his dad. I think Mick was more excited than Ben about going. And then we sat in, he showed us where they do the podcast, where they do this, where they do that. And John interviewed him and then put it on the Anfield Rap podcast.
Oh, was he delighted?
And I think imagine being, a 14-year-old boy being on the Anfield Rap podcast.
Yeah.
And I think that leads on to Mal. Mal, I think, was a great guest that we had. We had a few little tech issues with Mal. on the first week.
And
I didn't realise he did so much, with the respect and it's all around the country and around the world and things. And you think these people doing amazing things, and nobody gets to know about them.
And you know what? One of the points he made that stuck with me really was how brilliant all this youth football is, with the young ones that are out, they're exercising, they're being healthy. Hopefully they're learning manners and respect and sportsmanship or sportspersonship, whatever you want to call it. And that's great. But these people are all giving up their time for free. They're all doing this voluntarily week after week after week to get the kids in. It's the coaching, the trainers, the managers, the club secretaries. It's all done properly, etc. Treasurers, etc. And, they're all given the time for nothing in the community, aren't they? Just so kids can access stuff for free, or just pay a little bit of subs, as it were. And then there was all the stuff going on that food was given out.
Food as well, yeah.
There was just so much, but also, about the importance that we need that thing, because unfortunately people do treat referees with immense disrespect. And we talked about that, didn't we? And how it would never happen in rugby and things like that. And it is important, so if you're a parent and you get a bit angry, just rein it in.
Exactly. Otherwise you're going to have one of the young people interviewing you, asking you why your behaviour is like that, which I think is a great idea that they're going to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I like Martin Sang and his journey with his wife Jules and the other people for Airborne Academy as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And just the achievements, and his own kids have done brilliantly through that and everything.
My Uncle Ron's asking if I'm going for a swim in that class.
Yes,
I've got a gin and tonic, Uncle Ron. I've only got a small one, but it's full of tonic.
There we go.
Cheers. It's very nice, yeah. And I think another great surprise was Vince, who came on, who was the author.
He was just lovely. And he put on today, his books have been done as colouring books now.
Ah, amazing.
It's ones he's done. He was so accomplished as a person, wasn't he? And I think even when I got him to come in, I didn't realise how accomplished he was. And what an amazing person.
And it's the way they talk about it. It's sort of like, oh yeah, and then I did this thing for the BBC, and then I wrote this, and oh yeah, and I've done this, and you think, what? It's just unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like normal life to them, and
definitely.
But they're very humble people, and and it's really important about that. He's a local writer based in Toxteth. That's where he comes from, and it was our mate Musa.
Musa passed him on, didn't he? And I tell you, who was great as well, Palace Ponies, because you put a post on about Palace Ponies.
I absolutely loved her, yeah. Because I think that's a love. And that woman is a teacher. She teaches all day. She was doing a teaching practice. She was in a school in Formby, so she's based Toxteth based. Yeah. She had to get up to, the woman lives in the porter cabin by the ponies, let's face it, with a fella. And she said, when she met this guy, she went, well, I come with the pony. This is how it works. The ponies are with me. And she teaches she was teaching in Formby every day, wasn't she? So she had to get out there, get back, feed all the ponies and stuff. And that is so kids can access.
Dedication, isn't it?
Because she got to do things like that when she was a kid. And she thinks it's sad that other kids don't.
Of course.
And I just thought that is fantastic, which was my ethos as a teacher, giving everyone a fountain pen, I'd just like to say.
Well done.
These are the things. No, but it's nice. Everyone should access stuff, isn't it? And we have, a social, I don't want to say socialist, but, a more egalitarian attitude, if you like, that everyone should have a go of things.
It's that everybody should be
included,
have the ability or the chance to do something, shouldn't it? You should have the opportunity to be able to do something.
The world's greatest show jumper mightn't have a horse. We don't know. They need to be able to have a go.
Exactly.
And I just love that she did that as well. It's making things accessible, isn't it?
Definitely. So I think we've had like musicians, we've had authors, we've just had cool people, lots of people who've been out and just helped people, people who you wouldn't sort of think. And I think we're really fortunate that we've had so many amazing guests. And Peter Lloyd was, he's listening, wasn't he? And he was on, and who would think a gardener, isn't it? And things like that.
Well, the other thing is, I wanted to say, and actually, you've mentioned Peter Lloyd, and that's brought something home to me. a lot of people do stuff for charity that have come on as well. And it's the diverse things of charities. And Peter Lloyd was running to support the War Memorials Trust.
Yeah.
Because that's something he felt passionate about. And there's so many different worthy causes, aren't there? And it's interesting how there's just so many great things that people are doing constantly. And that was quite a diverse thing he did for me from the norm, you know.
Yeah, and young Tommy Lee, I think it was one of our youngest guests. He was only 21 and
he'd done so much, hadn't he?
He'd run the London Marathon because he himself had that
I'll check
I'm gonna
it.
say meningitis, and it's not.
I thought it was. Never mind. Move on while I check
that out. While we check that out. But yeah, he'd raised I think he's raised about £3,500 or maybe more. I think he might have raised more now. And I think he's going to do it again next year. So big shout out to Tommy Lee as well.
And we had the people on from the Plaza Cinema.
We did.
Crosby, yeah, he was hilarious.
He was hilarious. He was. And I've got to say, massive, massive thank you to Brian Quinn.
Oh, Brian Quinn, who was an ace, who should really be a co-presenter because he was brilliant.
So Brian had stepped in when I'd gone to see Sir Ranulph Fiennes, and Brian jumped in, didn't he? And we'd done our little practice show.
I was sick, do you remember?
And then he jumped in, didn't he? Because you were poorly.
Yeah, and left me in charge, so the show didn't happen. Do you remember? That's what
we'd done a dress rehearsal and everything worked, didn't it? In the dress rehearsal, we'd done it all, and it worked. So we just did it again the following week, and you were poorly, and he jumped in, and he's just a really, really amazing character of a guy, isn't he? You know, he's just cool, isn't he?
It is meningitis.
It is meningitis. I thought I was thinking, I didn't want to get it wrong. Yeah.
And he was from Mönchengladbach, which I found
interesting. He was born in Mönchengladbach. He was.
Yeah, and you wouldn't know to talk to him.
But he lives in West Derby.
He speaks a bit German as well.
Yeah. So we've had amazing guests, and I think I think most people who've been on love coming on.
Hopefully,
it's quite funny, isn't it? You know, when we finish, we have an end broadcast button, don't we? You know, when we finish, and we say, thank you very much, and then you blah.
Yeah.
And as you press end, the show finishes, but we're still here, like talking, can't we?
Yeah.
But the amount of people who just get off.
They go bye.
Go bye, and then
from the gang of weirdos, yeah. And John Bullock, he came on most recently.
Yes.
And he's inspiring as well, you know. And he doesn't promote himself very much because when you talk to him, he's a really accomplished person. And I was trying to get him to talk a bit about more, but he didn't want, he was saying about helping other people because that's what he's into. But he's done so much, but he's very professional. He's going, now Sandra, and I was going, no, look, it's just dead cat. It's you're meant to be having a chat with your friends. Yeah. That's the idea, So and I'd just like to say that when young people come on, Helen says it's like having a chat with your nan and your auntie. I'm the auntie, meaning her, not me, obviously, which is cool. So,
and as well, I'm going to say Anthony Strode as well.
Yes, and he's off to
Scotland, isn't he?
Isles of Scotland, isn't he? As well.
Yeah. And he was really interested in talking about all the things that he'd done during lockdown and things, And
he's very interested in living off grid.
Which was just amazing, of how he was going to turn the forest into, all things like that. Just unbelievable, yeah. So I think we could have gone through every single person who's been on and, given them a shout out. And but we were having a little chat, weren't we? And our show is about 15 months old, is it? I think maybe 15, 16 months. I think
we started October.
So 14 months, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And we had a first birthday, didn't we? We celebrated our first birthday, but we couldn't celebrate in style.
No.
So we're going to celebrate in style on our second birthday.
We are.
And we're going to launch either an afternoon tea or a Sunday lunch type soiree type gathering. And I just had an idea as I was walking and I thought I'd love to do some sort of not an awards ceremony because that's a bit grand, isn't it? A bit of a recognition.
An appreciation event.
An appreciation, a little appreciation event where people can come, and past guests can come and stuff, and we can do we could do a few little awards of who's gone on to do things, and we can share the successes of all these people, because I think people like to see the successes of and the journeys of people have done, and we can get
like him, David Neville King.
Yes.
And he did his singer, and then he did more. He's quite prolific now, isn't he? And he's got all going on, and he was great. And we could have some of the entertainers there and things. We've had some brilliant musicians on.
Yeah.
With so many, we really have, and musicians, authors, just so many talented people who set up charities and all kinds of things. Yeah, we're going to be hard pushed to pick people, but it'll be.
I think we can open it up to people, and we'll do a little like sort of not a popularity contest sort of thing, but maybe like a little public vote of, but we'll think of quirky things. It won't be like who was the greatest at this, or we'll think of little quirky things. And I'm thinking that our beautiful Ben, Football with Ben, might do a little slot for us. He could do maybe a little bit of a compare for us.
Definitely. And so we've got a bit of time to prepare for that, because that'll be next October, won't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Brilliant. On the weekends. Cool. It's exciting.
Cool. So we've got 5 minutes left.
Okay. Have you had any red faces?
I don't think I have. No. I think everything was quite successful over Christmas.
I did have a bit of a red face, Helen, when I took the turkey out at 12:30 when it still had an hour to go, and realised, the juices are running very pink.
Well, you did it right, because you put it back in again.
Stuck that in and that, but that was all right. But they were just so happy to be fed and not do it themselves this year. Everyone was so chilled out, so that was very good.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think if somebody puts a dinner in front of you, it's amazing, isn't it? Then you haven't got to cook it yourself.
Indeed, it
is. Or depending on cooking it for you, isn't it? No. Mm-hmm. So my Uncle Ron says, Happy New Year, success in the city, onwards and upwards for 2022.
Oh, yeah. Diane had said she had to jump off for another call. Love you both to bits. Happy New Year. And I'm serious about sponsoring a session in May. We shall take you up on that. Thank you.
We will indeed take her up on that, yeah. So going forward, San, you've got your exciting, but is it Batala?
Batala. You got Batala. There's an accent on the A. Batala.
So you've got your Batala drumming.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do in 2022?
I'm going to acquire a piano as soon as now, because I'm desperate, and move forward with that.
So anyone with a piano?
I've got a dress cut out.
Oh.
Ready to sew. Just moving forward, really. Business-wise, we're hoping to really expand the translation side of the business now. Get a big network of tutors, move forward with that. So we've got lessons going, and not just adults, all age groups. I know I teach kids because I'm a qualified teacher, but we've got qualified teachers who are there ready, even if they just want to do an hour a week to support a young person. A lot of kids are struggling massively with school. But I really want to get back to the languages. I've got 2 Portuguese tutors now. So I'm ecstatic about that. And moving forward with IP as well, and Chatterfit massively. So Chatterfit's gone to Rimrose Hope in German now, so that's all exciting. And move forward with the Chatterfit, and they get the Chatterfit for sign language going as well, so kids can do it, families can do it, exercise and learning at the same time with yourself.
Definitely.
And moving forward with IP, we definitely need a venue, and we definitely be able to run events, parties, family events, and demonstrate what we do and everything, because it must just be a mystery to loads of people.
I know. And that's it, isn't it? As soon as we've got a space, we, everybody can come and they can play and they can just have loads of fun and,
And what about you?
So yeah, I think personally, I'm going to do a lot more outdoorsy stuff. I'd like to do some trail running. I want to book a big, crazy event that I've really got to train for. Sort of like a real challenge that I'm going to challenge myself to, because we haven't really been able to do much over the past 2 years. I don't know what it's going to be, but something a little bit mad.
Holiday does all those mad ones, doesn't she?
Yeah, I've been looking at an ultra marathon, maybe across the hills or something like that. I'd like to do the 3 peaks in
Marathon des Sables.
In one day, in the 24 hours. I'd like to do that. Something like that.
That film, The 14 Peaks, which I did watch. It was brilliant. Yeah.
Did it make you want to put your boots on and climb?
at no point did it make me want to do that, as I watched it wrapped in a fairy blanket.
Do you not think when you get to the top of the mountain and you looked out?
It was amazing. It made me want to go to Kathmandu.
Okay, cool.
There you go. All right. It made me want Tibet. It made me want to go to Nepal and Tibet and see those lovely places and shop a bit.
So Peter Lloyd says, thanks for a great year of shows, you two. Looking forward to seeing you in 2022. And the same to you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
It's the end of 2021. Don't forget, it's going to be Tuesday, the 4th of January, 7 till 8. For 2022, we're going to be on Tuesdays. San, have you got a closing quote or something for?
Oh, you've proper put me on the spot.
I have, haven't I?
Well, I would say, I like to say something positive, not negative, but I would say if you're saying to yourself, it is what it is, think to yourself, it doesn't have to be like that. You can change. Everything is possible, 100%. And John
Bullock's listening in. Happy New Year, ladies. Wish you the best. Happy New Year to you, John, as well. And I will see you on Crosby Beach. So Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody's has an amazing time. Stay safe. And we'll see everybody on Tuesday, the 4th of January.
Bye-bye.